If you've never had an empanada, you're missing out. You might think they're really hard to make, but they're actually very easy when you get pre-made shells. So I'm going to show you how easy they can be today on Forgotten Cookbooks. Let's get cooking. All right, so I just took the chicken. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill my empanadas with chicken, and I'm going to season them just like I would taco meat. And you can use any kind of packet mix for the taco seasoning. I personally like Laurie's taco seasoning because it's not overly salty. I also love this brand, Siente. I've never tried their El Pastor, so I'm going to try it with this because I thought that would sounded wonderful with chicken. I'm not a big fan of McCormick because I find it too high in sodium. So I just cut this up with my newfangled device. I'll put a link to it down in the description. It's a scraper and chopper. Once I cook this, I'm going to use this to chop it up. Oh, these are so easy, and because I'm using chicken, I put some oil in here. I'm heating it up, and so I'm putting my strips in, and I'm doing strips because then it doesn't get overcooked, and I still can get that marinated flavor in there from the El Pastor seasoning. So I'm just going to saute these on a high heat. I don't want to cook the inside too much because it's going to sit there and saute with the El Pastor seasoning. Okay, so I'm getting these nice and seared. Again, I don't want to overcook them because they're chicken. Once the whole outside has been seared a bit, then I'm going to add some water and the taco seasoning, lower my heat, and let it simmer for a minimum of 20 minutes. Even if the package says, oh, only 5 minutes, no, you cannot get flavoring into meat in 5 minutes. You need a minimum of 20 minutes. Even a half an hour would be great. All right, so I've added the packet and I've coated the chicken really well with the seasoning. And I'm going to continually turn this so it's constantly cooking and grabbing some of that great El Pastor flavor and cooking inside. Once I feel that it's cooked enough, I'm going to pull it out, chop it up into small pieces so I can get them into my little turnovers, my little empanadas. All right, so while that is sauteing, let's take a look at the empanada shells that we're using. So, you know, I'm sure people make homemade empanada dough all the time, but why when you've got this great Goya product? I'll put a link to it down below, but they're wonderful. They come frozen, and so they're empanada dough tapas, and you can either bake these or fry these. You know, it's up to you, but as you can see, they're just these thin little shells that you can pull out. I'm not going to open these right this second because I'm actually not going to stuff them until tomorrow, but we'll be doing it here in this video. But you can see that they're just these little layered doughs that you're going to put your stuffing in, and then you're going to fold them over and crimp them. These have a nice little, pie edge to them. But I just use a fork to seal them. You just want to make sure they're really sealed so the juices don't escape. So you don't want to overfill them because that just breaks the dough. So before you use these, make sure they're refrigerated and defrosted. Them being cold, like any kind of dough product, it's easier to work with when it's cold. But you want to make sure that your filling is completely cool before you fill, because it will break these thin layers. It will break them very easily. So that's one of the reasons I'm going to make it tomorrow. Plus, I always feel the meat tastes better the next day. So I'm going to do a little taste test and make sure that it looks like it's cooking inside. Oh, it's nice and tender because I did the strips rather than doing it small. Oh, it tastes wonderful. So we're going to chop these up finely. All right, so I let it cool a little bit. Pulled it from the pan, made sure that they were covered really well. Now I'm chopping them up finely. So I'm chopping this up finely with this. And I'll tell you one thing, this is so much easier on the arthritis in my hand than if I use my straight edge knife that I have like this, because I can put the weight like this rather than my hand being on the blade doing it. It's just so much easier. Just to add a little moisture, I'm going to pour some of the leftover. Mix it up with my hands. And there, it will keep it nice and moist, especially in the container. So I'm going to cool this. And remember too, when you cut the chicken and you use the chopper, make sure that you clean that really, really well with soap and water before you come to this process, because you were dealing with raw meat. And always clean it off with good hot soapy water. So this is nice and moist. Moist, really good. So I am going to put mine in a sealed container overnight now that it's cool. So I let it sit here for a little bit and cool. Never put hot food in the refrigerator. It can actually cause botulism. All right, so we're ready to go. It's next day for me. I had this in the refrigerator overnight. Tastes marvelous. You know, it brought in some flavor putting it overnight. So I've opened up the empanadas dough, and what's really nice is they're separated by this plastic. I just love these. I think they're wonderful. I've actually never used them before, and so I'm very excited to use them. And so you put one down, and we're going to put about a tablespoon in each. Usually the first couple that you do aren't the greatest because you need a little practice. And so I've washed my hands really well, and I'm doing it with my hands rather than a spoon. I just work better with my hands. All right, so I have an egg wash here. So it's one egg, and it's mixed with a little water. Not even a tablespoon of water, just a splash of water in there to make it kind of thin, and whipped it up. And I'm putting it on the edges here, and this will help seal it. Okay, and keep it nice and sealed too. So you want to get all the meat away from the edges. Okay, so you can get a nice seal going. Now, if you have too juicy of meat or filling, it's just going to probably ooze out. So you're better off using some, trying to get out all the liquid that you can. Okay. All right, so just push it down, and I'm going to crimp it with a fork. Make little popovers, basically. Okay. And it gets a nice seal to it. I'm going to keep repeating this, and then I'm going to brush it with the egg on top. And this will give it a nice shiny surface. Now you can do this after you've done a bunch of them and put them into your pan and then brush them, but then you also get some egg everywhere. So I have a parchment lined pan here, and then I'm going to cook mine in the oven. I'm not going to fry mine. I've actually never tried an air fryer. I might take one and put it in the air fryer just to see what happens. And as I'm doing this, I'm getting my oven preheated to 375. Now, I personally think it's easiest to kind of lift it up into your hand and crump it closed so you can get a good seal, and then do your fork to just get that better seal and a little more decorative. Now, make sure that you don't, pluck a hole through it because then everything's just going to ooze out. Now, another little trick I'm trying too is to brush it with the egg before I put the stuffing in because it's hard to get the edges with the egg once you get the meat in. Now, some people kind of do a pie, kind of a pie decorative like I'm doing, where you just kind of crimp it with your fingers. You know, it's up to you what you want to do. I kind of do it both ways, but that is very decorative that way, isn't it? Now, there's many different countries that have similar things to empanadas. You know, the Australians have, I think they call them hand pies, and you know, in England they have. When I was just there, they had several. I saw it on the menu several times. These hand pies. So you know, you can also a wonton. You know, it's an Asian thing. You know, dumplings. So this is just incredibly easy. You just make your filling. You could even use cream cheese with some kind of filling. I've actually made something very similar to this with Pillsbury dough, you know, the pie dough that's already laid out for you. And then filled it with a cream cheese and chopped ham and green onion filling. And it makes the best appetizer to take to something like, you know, a football game or a potluck or something. And they're filling and they're just, the flavor is just absolutely wonderful with that chopped green onions and ham inside. Maybe I'll do a video on those. Now, if you've never crimped before a pie shell, when you're doing a top and a bottom pie shell, you basically put it in between your fingers like this, and then you just kind of push them together, the two sides. So you just grab two sides and you just crump them like this. And it makes this nice little fluted edge to it. And it also, you know, you're at the same time you're pushing in to the two piece sides together. My oven's ready. To tighten this up so it's got a nice seal on it. Also have your hands a little wet. That helps when you're sealing things. The water kind of acts as a little bit of a sealant that when it's on your hands. So, but you don't want your hands to be like too wet. I mean, that's where the shininess is coming from, is my hands are a little wet. And you also kind of want to wash your hands off too of the meat if you're using your hands to use the filling. Or you can use a spoon, whatever you want to use. Can't wait to taste these. I absolutely love these shells. They're wonderful. I've never worked with them before, and I'm just going to buy them from now on. Now, I'm going to put a link attached to this video. It's an affiliate link. And any products that we attach to your videos, whether it's us or any other creator, really helps that channel. So buying things through our affiliate links or even just clicking on them and looking at other products is very, very helpful for any creator that's out there. All right, my oven's preheated, and I decided I'm going to use the wash when they're in the pan. And so you just coat each one with the egg wash and do every bit of the top, including where you did your fluting. These are the ones with the fork. These are the ones I did by hand. So you can do either way. As long as it seals it, that's what you're going for. These are going to be so good. Some are messy, where they had got some of the meat mixture on top of them. No foul. It's just fine. All right. Actually, if you sprinkle these, I'm thinking if you sprinkle these a little bit with some paprika, it will help brown them. But I think I am not going to. You could either do like a Cajun spice or maybe a little chili powder, but they're already pretty spicy inside. And look how much meat I have left over, you know, and so I can make some tacos out of this. Throw some in some tortillas. I'm actually making these for a camping trip, an RV trip with my adult kids. So I thought they would enjoy these. And then I've got leftover meat for us to have tacos for lunch. So I've got them in the oven at 375. I'm going to have them in there for about 8 minutes. If I was frying them, I'd want the oil to be at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 4 minutes. Or you could try the air fryer. I was going to try it, but I think I'm going to put these in the oven. So that this came with 12 of the
the skins, and so it's perfect. It fit perfectly in there. They should shrink a little bit too.
I always have leftover egg wash. I use it quite a bit when I'm doing pastries. And what I do is I put it in the microwave and cook it up for about 20 seconds max, depending on how strong your microwave is. Let it cool thoroughly and give it to your dog.
So mine are taking a lot longer than what the recipe on the back of the package said. It said like 7-8 minutes, and mine's been in there for a good 12 minutes. So you want to cook them until they're, a golden brown and not the doughy feeling.
All right, so they're a nice little golden brown now. Have a nice brown on the other side, which we didn't put egg wash on that side. They have a stiffness to them now. They're not doughy. Ooh, they look good. So I'm going to let them sit here and cool. Don't bite into them quite yet. You're going to end up burning your tongue and your mouth, but see how well they sealed? Using that egg wash really helps in crimping them. And then this is the ones that I use the fork. So both ways, seal them just as well. Ooh, these look so good. And I'm just going to put them in a container. If I have to layer them, I'll probably use some wax paper just so they don't stick, and put them in the refrigerator, because remember, they are meat inside, so you do want to refrigerate these. That is so good. The dough is flaky and bold. It's just the flavor inside. It's absolutely wonderful. It's just, these really turned out great. I love these Goya skins. Has the perfect amount of filling inside. I mean, look at that. Just perfect. We invite you to watch all our vintage recipe videos, from our Eating Like a President series to browsing vintage cookbooks. Thank you for coming to our cozy corner of the internet, where we dust off forgotten culinary treasures and cooking methods to bring home economics back to the kitchen. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Your continual support and positive engagement is what keeps us going, and it is greatly appreciated.